It's Leona. But everything on blue side is in pick order now. But red side, right? Red side was Or 1 and 2 was Callista Leona. Then Or 3 was Maokai. And then the Or 4 was Ari. So Scott didn't actually get a chance to pick before 6 of his champions were taken away. But if there is anyone that you want to be removing from the game by this means, I think it's Scott on that team.
So, I mean, the one thing I'm curious about here is, like, this is an entirely different style of champ than we've seen Rek play the entire UNL season so far.
Yeah.
With the Maokai top.
Yeah, not the split pushers anymore. I mean, a champ that doesn't have so much dueling power early. Can't really split as well as, you know, the Nara, the Renekton, the Nidalee. I don't know how I actually don't know how AD and Nidalee plays out at all. I'm not even gonna attempt to talk about that, to be honest. But it's open, and they didn't take it. So
have they finally learned their lesson?
Now the Dabish Shen, he's dipped his fingers into the UNL Shen. In the commissioner of this league, he's given in. He's had enough.
By existing, so they might just find Vin here. Right, it looks like, unfortunately, Ares was walking too far forwards and did get spotted out. Well, they all managed to collect the ward on the backside of the exchange there, though. But, yeah, Braum passive is one of the best things to have on an invade.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll end up seeing a deep ward onto the Raptor pit there from the side of Ever Since. So they will, as opposed to the side of Elite Four here, actually know where this Jarvan will be starting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like it's just going to be both junglers starting top side here, pathing towards bot lane. And I'm kind of hoping we'll have a quieter game than last game, because that was a lot of action and not enough words.
Bro, I literally, I think I struggled. I forgot names, I forgot abilities, I forgot champions. It was a nightmare. But both junglers, like I said, starting top. I don't think either this top lane will be this top lane will
Snooze
be
fest.
Shen. Shen's always going to be the snooze fest. It's unavoidable. I think I should know that better than anyone. I had my fair share of Shen games last season. It's not particularly enjoyable, but it's not nice to watch either. But what can you do? You pick what you need to win. But I think, yeah, it will be a little bit of a quieter game. Maybe you could look for something around bot lane with the Callista Leona, but Davis going in for a big trade level 2, but it's going to take a lot of damage in return. Wow. I think this Maokai, especially since that Q change where he got percent max health on it, like you can definitely underestimate his damage a bit.
I mean, that change only really starts taking effect whenever you have 2 or more points in, because it's always had the max health damage, just gaining more from rank ups, and that charm was a perfect 90-degree right angle there.
That was he's playing more aggressive than I expected on this Shen.
I mean, Shen has a lot of kill pressure, especially into Maokai, which Maokai does have to get the auto attack off to get his heal, to get his grasp.
Yeah.
So
the early gank here though, and it's a flash flag and drag. Weebly is getting lower and lower and lower, and he's gonna fall. Gonna get the return kill, but the first blood going to the Cassiopeia, I think that's definitely worth for E4.
It's interesting to note here that Flash's mid lane, we didn't notice, they did seem to get burned early.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I think he did flash earlier.
Say both mid laners seem to have traded flash this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it ends up paying off. They end up getting the first blood there. Ari does end up getting the return kill onto the jungler, but it doesn't really mean anything since she ends up losing at least one wave crashing into that tower.
Yeah.
Which is going to put her very far behind That Sivir W is very loud.
Yeah, isn't it? But outside of mid lane, nothing really going on. You know, you do expect the Jarvan to get out onto the map early. I think on papers, I think Scott and Ares are one of the strongest mid jungle duos in the league. I would say. I think they're both really good players. But Dabus as well. You know, Dabus obviously new to top lane, but he's been doing decent on it. Then as well, Joseph as well has been okay, but Max Crisp is also I mean I played with Max Crisp last season, but I think I only played a couple games with him, so I don't actually know that much about him. But he's been good this season.
I'm surprised we haven't seen his brand come out yet at all this season, as that is what he was known for.
That was what the tip off said to me. I was told we were getting a brand. I'll tell you what it was now.
We might have to hold that thought.
I am gonna have to hold that thought. As Weebly dies for the second time mid lane. It's another kill into Cassiopeia. She is going to be a nightmare to deal with. Gonna be able to back and get that Catalyst of Eons really soon. Sitting on about 700 gold. But I was expecting a Brand Bard is what I was tipped off to see. But you know, I don't, you know, we don't need to trust it.
Unfortunately, some people are just liars.
That's exactly it. I'm gonna have to make this look quickly for a second to get the sword back up because I messed up, but that is fine. But I think this Jarvan he's gonna dictate the pace of the game a little bit, which is nice for the Cassiopeia, definitely. As I think it's nice for the Sivir too, with him being able to decide what happens in this game a lot of the time. But I would like to see Vince get out onto the map a little bit. I know Hecarim is like a typically full clears, right? You know a lot more about jungle than I do.
I mean, Hecarim full clears because he is an extremely fast player. He is a gank orientated jungle, so to see Hecarim not really get onto the map yet is slightly worrying, especially since he sells that ghost up. But
Ares is here. This guy is so active. He's a little bit behind Hecarim, but it doesn't really matter when his Cassiopeia has 2 kills at 6 minutes. Might be able to look for something in the bot lane. Binz is here as well, but he's just going to be taking the scuttle, and Trade coming out in top lane. Damage is getting really low here. The Nature's Grasp is going to come out. I don't think the Maokai has enough damage to finish this off. I may eat my words. I am going to eat my words, and we're not going to see what happens at the end of that fight. And Joseph is going to be the first to fall bot lane. Davis also dies in top lane, and it's an absolute disaster for E4. They have that lead in mid, but the rest of the map falling apart already. Davis solo killed the top lane, and your ADC and your jungler both die in a bot lane 3v3. Your Cassiopeia has a lead, but the rest of the map is on fire.
One thing I was going to say, it was interesting to see Rak here actually pick up the Dark Seal, but he has managed to get 2 stacks onto it.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. As I was saying about Vince not getting out onto the map, there we go. He has 2 assists now as well. This Kalista though, that's going to be difficult to deal with as a Sivir.
But yeah, with just a singular gank, like Vince here has managed to completely equalise the amount of total map impact that Ares has managed to have while still being up 20 CS.
He is so far ahead now, yeah. Actually, I forgot about how jungle works now. He's not that far ahead. He should be further ahead. Yeah, but you know, I think once Ares gets a Cataclysm though, I think it's a really useful tool this game. Like there's a lot of you'll be forcing out spirit rushes, whatever you want pretty much with that. But this match is gonna get a lot harder now after that first kill for Rak. Vin's invading his top side, might look for a dive onto Dabus in top lane. Dabus does have the ward there, but Vin's not gonna be able to find anything. Just gonna scan away that ward. And I mean, everyone's just trying to get waves in at the minute, pretty much. Max is very strong in this Kalista, though. It's not typically a champion we see, Definitely the first time we picked this season, but he's making it look good so far.
So they will be using that Sivir prior to find the Drake here. There's not really much they can do to stop that.
It's excuse me. It's E4 taking Dragon. They're gonna trade Herald for it. But Rack finds himself in a lot of trouble here. The Spirit Rush into top lane. Weebly might look for a charm here. Doesn't land it. Just hits the minions. Rack sitting on 1 HP just outside tower range.
It's like one more taunt would do it, but they are just going to set up here for dive.
Navis knows something is afoot here.
A well-timed W.
And Nature's Grasp comes in, and Friend does have to use the ult to get away. And Davis is going to pick up the kill onto Rack. Vince is going to try to return the kill, but the taunt comes out. He's going to get 2 of them. Jarvan was up there to help, but Davis really well played into the oncoming dive.
As I said, a well-timed W was going to be able to completely nullify that dive, and yet completely managing to eat up the charge from the Hecarim, the what would have been healing also from the Maokai.
Yeah.
Managing to completely turn that into a 2-for-1, so what should have been a free dive.
But how much does this Shen getting 2 kills do for you? In the grand scheme of things.
I mean, I think it's less Shen getting 2 kills and more preventing this Hecarim from getting ahead by dropping a Herald on that top lane tower and taking at least 3 plates.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely true. I actually didn't think about that. But Max Chris keeping this wave right next to his tower. I mean, he does have that 20 CS lead and 2 kills as well. He's really far ahead. A little bit of downtime across the map. Just have a look at what things are looking like. Scott does pick up the rod. We're going to finish that at about 20 minutes, maybe a minute. First mythic of the game. No one else has theirs yet. He is really far ahead. It's gonna be a little while until he's able to properly impact the map, but you know, he's definitely something you can't forget about. He is there. He will deal damage.
How are we looking for grasp attacks on these top laners? Because all they're doing again is just smacking each other.
I will have a look. I can't actually. I'm pretty sure I can't tell, but no, there's no way I'm able to tell. I'm only able to see things, and you can see that are stacked onto the that would stack on your bar, like the ASOL Stardust Victor things. The dive gonna come out for the second time at the top lane. It looks like it's going a lot better this time. The double taunt's gonna come out, but it's not gonna be enough. Weebly tanking that tower to see empty the spirit. She got away, but the Cassiopeia ult isn't gonna land. He's gonna try and get rid of this this Herald, but a dive onto your bot lane in response. I think this is definitely a lot better for E4. Max Crisp is going to be the second to fall, just about. It's a shutdown for Ares. For I am Bubbles. And
we won't say the other name in the bot lane.
I blow Bubbles, working with Bubbles to make that bot lane dive work. But I think that's definitely advantageous for E4. You do the Hecarim does get a little bit further ahead. He's definitely getting there, but this Kalista being shut down and the Sivir getting a bit of a foot in the door into this game is definitely worth it, I think, as for the trade-off. But the Sunfire Aegis rush for Rack. What do we think? The Gen doesn't do a lot of AD damage. At least until he gets Satanic Hydra if he gets it. But I'm going to have to hold that thought for a second. Then Firebone's in a little bit of trouble in mid lane. Eris is here and Vince is here as well. There's so much TC. There's no way she manages to get out of this. Amazing movement from Scott. And Jarvan manages to return a kill. Blazekiss is here as well to help. But it's a 1-for-1 in the end. Scott with some fantastic movement to survive so long there. Flag and Drag not available here, but Leona is going in on that fight. Maybe just to get her Hecarim out. I'm not entirely sure.
Did feel like a bit of a Death Wish turnaround there.
But both top lane's health bar is getting lower and lower.
So then again, with all this action, it's 200 gold lead right now.
Did Davis have ult available for Scott in that fight?
I don't think I've seen Davis ult this game yet, if I'm honest.
Was he dead?
I don't know.
I can't think of a reason other than just forgetting if he was alive. Because I think the Shen ult definitely would have saved Scott there, but I imagine he was just dead or something along those lines, because Davis doesn't stick out to me as someone that would forget a Shen ult.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay, I didn't think that Demolish Rock was just going to kill the tower there, I will be honest.
That looks so funny. Oh god, but Mythics for almost everyone, except Davis, did go for that Bambi Cinder early, which is definitely, you really do need Don Shen for the wave clear.
It's interesting to note here as well that we do see the Black Cleaver as the first item of choice here for Vin's in the jungle.
I like it. I really like it. But it's a 3v2 in the bot lane. They don't know about it quite yet. Ares patiently waiting. The Flag and Drag does come in, and it does knock up Max Chris. The teleport is going to go for the Maokai in top lane, but if Max Chris was dead, you don't have the damage for this. Ares is going to be the second person to fall. And Rack, trying to get on his own, he's so tanky. Does have the flash available. They're not going to follow him. He's going to get out with his life, but God, I mean, that's the difference. The Shen ult versus the teleport. I think your Kalista needs to survive that for that to be a worthwhile TP. But Rock, not out of the woods yet. The flash Q goes to Narnia, but he's going to die anyway. Another kill for I Blow Bubbles. Davis finding himself in a lot of trouble against Vince in the top lane. He's gonna fall. I don't think you want to be using your flash there. I think you're just dead anyway, but Davis, the most recent victim of the Rainbow Horsey, that Gromp is going to reset. The blue buff taken away from the Hecarim. Does have the tier, so we won't feel it as much, but the CDR loss and the gold and XP is definitely a bit of a problem. Ares is doing really well. He was 0-2-2 at some point. I think he can give himself a pat on the back for the last 7-8 minutes of this game. Scott, maybe that gank mid lane slowed him down a little bit, but he's still, he's still scaling. He's still safe. The Sivir as well scaling. I think you're in a really good spot here as E4. I think this is where you want to be right now.
So it's just two messy games.
This is the thing.
This one is neck and neck right now. Both teams at 30k gold.
I don't know. I think when you're even though with these comps, I think E4 is considered an advantage.
I'd say E4 is the later game comp here with that Cassiopeia.
It's a Cassiopeia Sivir against an Ahri Kalista. It's. I mean, Vince has a lot to do this game, I think. Like, this Kalista doesn't have that scaling advantage. Like, the Ahri, her damage isn't crazy. Definitely got, like, a lot of pick potential and whatnot, but Davis finds himself way too far up once again. But there's a fight going on in the river right below him. The Kalista ult's gonna come out. Eris gonna ult himself away from the fight. His ADC, the lamb to the slaughter, and the second kill onto Eris. And Scott is not finished yet. He does so much damage. The Spirit Rush is not going to be enough. Scott playing that fight to perfection. That's a huge fight for E4. This game has been blown completely out of the water now. E4, such a huge advantage.
I do want to say, it is 19 minutes into the game and we've still not seen his Shen ult.
channel is a... It's a, what's the word? I can't remember. Yeah. We'll we will find it. It's a social construct. You don't pick the champ for the ult. You pick this champ so that you can trade level 1. But I think Hecarim, you can't count him out. He is very strong. He's got 2 items, and those 2 items are a Black Cleaver Muramana. But I feel like he just gets blown up without any tank stats, and maybe he goes to Jack Show next, I'm not sure.
I mean, I was gonna say, like, if he gets caught on the miasma, he will just get blown up with no way to get out.
They're gonna try and get a foot back into this game somehow with this Drake. Ares is standing on so much vision. Not gonna be able to find the steal. SMC get their name onto the board in terms of dragons. That Jarvan skin's auto attacks are so loud.
One thing that I do find strange here is we are seeing the Infinity Edge being built over the Navori quick plays here for
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna I wanted to bring this up. It's I don't know. I mean, Sivir at 3 items. I've never understood Sivir at 3 items without any attack speed items. That's always. I mean, obviously you do have the Berserker speeds, you have the lethal tempo, you have the Kraken, but I don't know. Things like PD and stuff feel so good on Sivir. But I mean, if it's working, it's working. I suppose.
Yeah, just locking yourself out in Navori here just feels bad, because with the Navori you can permanently have that W uptime.
Yeah.
And just have the ridiculous teamfight DPS. But I just see him just staying up for the Baron here.
I just had a thought pointed out to me in UNL General. Why is Vin's called SNC friend and not SNC VNC? Bit of a death bush in the mid lane as we move on uncomfortably from what I just said. They are going to be spotted out. The Flag and Drag not going to catch anyone out. They're going to be able to walk with their lives just about. Really, really good ward if they'd walked into there. I think that could have been game. I think that could have been all but game if they walked into there. 4 kills on your jungle mid bot. No one on SNC has 4 kills yet. And Vayne finds himself in a lot of trouble. He's going to have to ult away. Does get away, but at the cost of that ultimate. But Cataclysm did have to be used before that. He is going to lose his blue buff as well. A blue buff on this Cassiopeia. Not only is it a Cassiopeia scaling into late game, not only is it a Cassiopeia with nearly 3 items at this point in the game, it's also Scott on this Cassiopeia. So, I think you're in trouble here. I think you're in big trouble here as I can't remember team names. SNC, thank you. But if we have a look at gold, you can see the richest players in this game. Scott, Joseph, Ares, and Vince, all approaching 9 or 10k gold at this point in the game. Max Crisp also is getting there, slowly but surely. Rack is also does have a little bit of gold in his pocket too. So it's if you look at the gold alone, it doesn't look that bad for SNC. But when you watch the game play out, it looks very bad. These fights are just not... They're struggling to get control of anything.
So I am slightly worried that, like, ever since have been slowing down this game, when they are the team that, you know, they're the ones that are going to end up losing out if this game drags on too long.
Yeah.
So they really need to be looking at pushing more on the gas here and looking for these opportunities, but yeah, they just struggle to get any sort of vision on the map whatsoever, which means they can't make any proactive plays whatsoever. It doesn't help when you can see 2 sweepers ticking and you drop a ward in front of it, but...
I mean, Vince is... I still don't really want to count out Vince. Like, he's struggling, but it's still Vince, and it's still a Hecarim. So, But the thing is, you have 3 really good fed players on E4 versus what is effectively a lone Hecarim, right? Like, he can't really do much this game on his own. Especially playing into the Cassiopeia and the Jarvan. You can lock him down, like, with some level of ease. Well, the flash character betrayed the mid lane, the Kalista not going to be able to get out of this fight. It's a huge fight going on through the mid lane, and it's a huge Cassiopeia ult as well. The Shadow comes out for the first time this game. Blaziken is not going to die in the end. He's going to get out on 1 HP, but Joseph is going to be the first to fall. That makes him a lot of trouble as well. Everyone diving straight on top of Scott. There's so much healing and tankiness from those items, but he's going to be the second to die, and a 2 for 0 for SNCE. A really, really good fight for them. Ares able to flag and Drake over the wall, but it's going to be the second Drake, and SNCE, they have a foot in the door. It's not over yet. It's definitely not over yet.
So, it really felt like Ares trying to bite off more than he can chew there, trying to find a way to lock down the champion that does just jump for free.
Yeah.
Like, committing the flag and drag to get close to then flash and ult when she just jumped immediately over the Cataclysms, and it just put his entire team completely out of position there. And again, when you're the team that's ahead, you really don't want to be giving the enemy team an inch.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, give them an inch of rope and they will hang you from it.
Aha. I mean, Vince he's going to be a problem. He's making it very apparent that he's going to be a problem. He's not going down without a big fight. This Baron is still up. It's been up for 6 minutes. No one's tried to make a play on it yet. Just constantly trading vision between them. No Drake for I don't know how long, because my objective time is not working, but God, Rock is just not taking damage anymore. Doesn't even have Mythic yet. SNC desperately trying to keep vision of this Baron.
So these 2 Mountain Drakes are going to make them very hard to kill.
Yeah, Rock is going to be an issue. If they get all the way to the Soul, like Rock and Vince are going to be a real problem this game. This is the thing about Rock. No matter how much I think he's out of the game, he's never out of the game. Not that he looks like he's out of the game this game, but he's always just there. He's always ready to pull something. He's gonna try and take the trade and just out with the shed. He does so much damage and so much healing. But there is gonna be a fight in the top lane where Eris finds himself in a world of hurt. The Kalista ult gonna get him out of that alive, but you maybe have a timer to look for something now if you're E4. Getting rid of vision a little bit around the Baron. Remember, the Shen ult is still up and ready. But so is the teleport for the Maokai, so this fight can turn into a 5v5 really, really quickly. Vince, neither of these teams know. Okay, Vince is somehow going to get away with that. The flag and drag, I think, was a little bit short. He turned around in time for the Cassiopeia ult as well, but that is a Baron call now. You have so much DPS, they do this Baron so quickly. Why are you hitting? If you hit the ward, you can see over it though. But they're gonna have to run away from this. The Nature's Grasp not gonna come out, but the Maokai TP is enough to threaten them off it. Does give Shen a little bit of time to push out this bot wave though. But I think it's if you have a pink over a trinket, and then you start hitting the trinket, it gains vision, right? While you're hitting it.
Yeah, that is awful thing to do if you.
Yeah.
If the pink's denying vision over a Baron fight, a Dragon fight, never hit the ward.
Yeah, you just leave it. Yeah, I was thinking there. I don't know if it made it. I don't know if it made any difference. But you know, definitely could have been a little bit problematic. But if we have a look at the player, Scott has definitely slowed down a little bit. I think Vince is now Wow, this game is so close. Look at that. That's incredible. It's so close. All of your carries have the same amount of gold except the two top laners. Well, they're not carries either, but you know what I mean. Wow. This has been a good game. I'm really enjoying this, I must say. 3 items though for both ADCs now. This is the point in the game where like losing a fight can just lose you the game on the spot.
Same, we've seen Ares bot lane here. They are on the side of ever since. Just look to start up the Baron.
Yeah, I think Scott knows they're there. But this Maokai TP is not available. The Shen ult, however, is. Eris gonna get forced away from his Drake, but Max Crisp, they're gonna run straight after them. Does have to flash away, but the charm dodged away by all members of E4. The flag drive, so it's a huge cataclysm from Ares. It's gonna be a massive fight for E4. 2 free kills straight at the start of the fight. Weebly going to be able to run away. Thought he might have been able to get caught by the slow, but the Spirit Rush is enough to get him out of that fight. A huge cataclysm from Ares. Catching 2 people out. I have to say, he has been phenomenal this game.
Then looks like they are going to opt to try and contest this Drake.
Into the Death Bush. Rack dives straight onto the Simmer on the back of the fight. The flag and drag straight over the wall, gets 2 knockups. Friend is 1 HP on the edge of this fight. He's going to be able to run away with his life, but Rack is going to fall in return. Someone needed to sacrifice to get your jungler out of that situation, and Death Bush not working at all. Maokai tried to jump straight onto the Simmer onto the back of the fight, but there's too much damage for E4. A really good flag and drag from the Jarvan as well, knocking up both members. That's a 3rd dragon now on soul point for E4. Can maybe look towards this Baron, but all just gonna back out. Now if we look at the gold, Ares and Vince, despite the 50 CS difference, are almost exactly the same amount of gold. Scott's still holding about a 1k lead consistently over Weebly, and this bot lane lead between Joseph and Max Chris just slowly growing as the single scales later and later into the game.
So it's just, we're just going to devolve into another Baron dance here.
Yeah. Davis is bot lane. Both teleports are. I can't tell if Davis. No, both teleports are definitely available. A lot of flashes burned though. In fact, the supports are the only ones in the game do have the supports, and Davis are the only people in the game who do have their flash up, and Joseph, excuse me. But Joseph flash is that's a big ability. To be able to get away from this from the amount of dive they have, it's a really strong tool. But maybe looking for a fight in top lane. Directed Camera loves to switch back to this noodle stopping in bot lane, but I think it'll be not much until this next dragon is up. I don't know if either team wants to go for a Baron here. Wow, Maokai a level down, just doing so much damage.
It's just the health pools on these 2 top lanes where all they've done is hit each other with grasp to box the entire game.
The redemption second is interesting from the Shen.
I would like it more if he'd been, you know, more active in these fights.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. But SNC looking towards this Baron potentially. Ares, I mean, can get cut out, but he does have that GA. He's got the 3rd item available. That healing on the Maokai passive never fails to amaze me. It's so insane. God, this is just so. It's oh my god. It's just horrid to watch. It really is.
See, I know Racky's obviously been known for like these split pushing picks, but did you expect it from the Maokai?
Yeah, I mean, It's so hard how direct the camera keeps switching to it. I don't want to watch this.
Out of curiosity, how much has the sun fired on?
I will tell you now. 2,986. And Shen's has done 0. Because you just bought it. Want to have a look at some other items? We can see, nothing from Jack Show yet. No health drain. He has had the item for a really long time. The Shadow Flame for 800 damage. Decent amount of utility from the Everfrost, but I'm going to have to hold that thought for just a second. As SMC start what feels like the 5th Baron dance of the game. That Leona ult. It's waiting. He wants it. He's looking for it. Joseph. He's a bit risky to walk up there. That was going to have to flash over that wall to get away from Vince, but Smite is down 15 seconds. But everyone is just so nervous to try and make a move here. Davis looking for the taunt. It's not going to land. Could be a window of opportunity here for SNC. They're going to knock a Shuriken in the middle of the fight. It's a 2-man Cataclysm, but Hecarim jumps straight out. He's going to run out of the fight. Weebly gets the first kill onto Davis. Friend is going to be the second one to fall, stunned up by that Brawn passive. The Zonia's in the middle of the fight from Cassiopeia, and it is an absolute disaster for SNC. E4 are taking a massive fight. It's another kill for Ares. And they're not going to continue to follow. They're going to turn their sights straight onto that Baron. And this was the fight they needed. This Hecarim shut down so quickly with the amount of CC. Kalista also just not really able to do much.
So, and they should also just be able to pick up the soul here off of that Baron as well. Which we might finally see the game state progress a bit. Now that Baron has finally fallen after dancing around for 16 minutes.
Oh, but it's gonna be sold for E4. This game is. I don't know. I don't think you can come back to it now. I think it might just be. There's no silly mistakes. No big throws. And I think you can just walk away with it pretty much. Jarvan and Shen are going to be so tanky. Like the full engage comp into a Mountain Soul. Oh. This is like a nightmare.
Interesting to see, like, it's still only a 3k gold lead.
Yeah,
like the actual...
It feels like they're stomping, right? But they're not at all. like by gold. That's literally like it's 3k at 37 minutes. I don't know, I mean, just your Hecarim's gonna start falling off, your Ahri's gonna fall off, your Kalista's gonna fall off. You just don't really have, even if you were even or even ahead, you just don't really have the damage at this point in the game. I think it's in particular. Actually, in fact, all of D4 have just played this game really, really well, I think. No one's really been a problem, but Davis will find himself in a little bit of trouble in top lane. Not going to be able to walk away from this one. Wow, it takes a long time to mow him down. It's another kill for Max Crisp.
It's like,
but you
forgetting that kill there.
so much, you sacrifice so much. The bot lane tower.
He's not going to stick around for the tier 3 there.
I think Ares and Joseph. I could probably include Blazekiss in that as well. I've been really, really good this game. Everyone's been good, but I think Ares in particular is the one that's been obviously with the early kill onto Cassiopeia originally, but even since then, he was, like I said, he was 0-2 and 2 at some point. He's gotten, give or take, 16 KP without dying. since about 3 minutes. So you've got too many safety nets. Even if you do fall behind, it just doesn't really matter. Just once you get to this point in the game, it's just too much.
So they're just trying to find every tower they can. It's just both teams constantly rotating, trying to match each other. But they should, with Max Chris pushing so far down mid lane here, they should be able to find something.
Yeah. And they're gonna siege this tier 2 top, but it's already way clear.
It looks like we're waiting for the next Baron to dance around.
Oh man. 40-minute game, huh?
So we do actually see the mid lane tower falling to just minions there, as a result of that shove that Max Chris did.
Yeah.
Which does open up the map a little bit for the side of Eversense here.
God, I'm trying to think, but like what's the name of that situation in chess where you have to make a move, but every move is bad?
Checkmate.
That, I mean, yes, but that's not what I meant.
That's close.
That's what it feels like, though. It's I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, but it's Zugzwang is what it's called. So, I mean, I don't know. Like I'm looking at it. It's just, even Vin's, like, as good as he is, it's like you're playing into this like the Cassiopeia, the Jarvan. It's so difficult to do anything against these champions.
So we do see the Elder Dragon, like, within 6 seconds of spawning here, so they're gonna have to fight whether they like it or not.
Oh, Eris. It's a huge choke. This is gonna be a massive fight for E4 again if it goes to plan. Diving straight onto the backline with Vince. He's doing a lot of damage back there. But Rack is gonna be the first person to fall. 2 kills for Joseph, and I think
Wait, was that a penta?
It's a pentakill for Joseph. As I said, fighting in that choke. Just able to output so much damage, and Red Team is going to throw up their surrender vote. And that's going to be game over.
That's another penta, another week.
Another week, another penta.